If you had a choice between an apple or a Twinkie, which would you choose? So I was in the community one day. It's a very marginalized, low-resource community, and we were doing healthy cooking demonstrations. And at that event, there was a little boy that was just running around having a great time. His name was Cairo. He's 7 years old, and so he went to every single station, and then he came over to me. And I had a big basket full of apples. So I reached down and I picked the biggest, reddest, shiniest one that I had, and I gave it to him. And he took it, and he bit into it. He paused for a second, and then he gave it back to me. And he said, "You know, I like the taste, but it makes my teeth hurt, so I'd rather have a Twinkie." And when I heard that, it just stopped me in my tracks. I thought, we should be able to do much better than this. And so as the day went on, I was able to meet his mother, and she told me that she had been taking Cairo back and forth to the emergency department multiple times, and each time she went there, she didn't really get the kind of care or the treatment that really did anything to help him. As a result, he was missing a lot of school. She was missing a lot of work, and if she missed any more work, she was going to lose her job. So she had started letting his older sister stay home with him. So now Cairo and the older sister were missing school. And I thought again, we have to do something much better than this. We have to work together to demonstrate to people that without oral health, you're not healthy.
And now we have people that are going to emergency departments for care. Up to about 5 to 7% of emergency department visits are now for non-traumatic dental issues, toothaches, gum abscesses. And so you go to the emergency department and you might get a prescription for an antibiotic. You might get a prescription for an opioid. We have two issues going on. We have an opioid epidemic. We have issues with people being written prescriptions that aren't going to have a positive impact on those that we see. And emergency departments aren't equipped to actually address dental issues. So what happens? Well, there was one study that actually looked by the DentaQuest Institute in 2016 at some areas, and they found out that up to $22 million were being spent on these non-traumatic dental emergencies, taxpayer dollars. That people would go, the average visit was $550, that there would be 42,000 of these visits, and maybe 15 days later they would come back and still not have any kind of definitive care. And there are other issues as payer sources. There's a very awful story that I'm sure many of you are familiar with Diamante Driver, a young man in Prince George County, Maryland, who had Medicaid. His mother had Medicaid, but they couldn't locate a dentist that would take Medicaid to deal with his issue. So he ended up going to an emergency room. He got antibiotics. They thought it was for sinusitis and for dental and things of that sort. Diamante Driver died of a brain abscess. When we say that you can't be healthy without oral health, we are being very serious. And we also have a problem with payer sources. We have some things for children. We have Medicaid and we have CHIP. But what happens when you become an adult? Many states, including our state of Georgia, the only thing that Medicaid will cover for an adult is to take out a tooth or for trauma. What about Medicare? Medicare does not have a dental benefit. So what about for our elders or for our disabled or for other people that we don't have a payer source for? So it's going to take a team to actually make this work. This is actually one of my patients. This person was depressed, wasn't taking his medications, had no oral health related quality of life. No quality of life. Couldn't get a job because when he opened up his mouth, he was missing a lot of teeth. He would come see me, but he wouldn't go to his primary care. So we started a deal that if he came and saw me, I would rush his work as long as he stayed in primary care. and this is what he ended up looking like. The difference that we can make in people's lives, but it is going to take a team. It's going to take people with nursing and physicians and advanced practice providers, all of us working together to ensure that we have access to oral health care so we don't repeat the story of Diamante Driver. We have people with this kind of smile, and that we can continue to improve lives of those that we serve.
Recently, as I was in my clinic precepting one of my nurse practitioner students, we were seeing a patient that, for a totally different reason, that she was there presenting for herself, and right in the middle of the conversation, she stops and she says, "You know, I am really, really concerned about something. Can I talk to y'all about something a little different?" And we paused and said, "Yes, of course, what is it?" And she said, "I have some children at home that are starting to have some mouth problems. They're having tooth pain. They're having gums that are starting to bleed. And I'm just curious, when was I supposed to be taught or told how to take care of my kids' teeth?" My student looked at me and I said, "This is a fantastic question." And we stepped out of the exam room and I went through the process of what this great team, our OICAN team, has been working on, and some of the tools that we've been able to develop, the two-team technology model, and so forth, that we're starting to deliver in the educational process. So once I explained it to my student, we went back in, we were able to answer some of the questions, but not all. So I decided this is a great opportunity to take this to the classroom. So I took it to the classroom with all my nurse practitioner students and my doctorate nursing practice students and my undergrad students. And we had this discussion. And I introduced our OICAN project. And they were able to do the app. And we got great real-time data that showed many things that we did not expect. And out of all that, what surfaced was one question: should oral health be a part of the development milestone? Should it be part of potty training, as we educate with potty training? Or maybe even walking and talking. Where does this fit in? Because right now, we don't have that answer. This will be something that will take more and more conversation. What will this look like over our lifespan? Should it start before what this slide shows? Should it start perhaps in the prenatal stage? As we're moving forward, the lifespan, where does it fit and how do we continue to grow it? It will take an army to do this. It will take nurse practitioners, nurses, PAs, physicians, communities, community leaders, teachers. It will take us all to figure out where we are and where we should grow from here and what our landscape should look like, to know that the mouth is one of the most important parts of the body.
So just to let you know what happened to Cairo, as part of our OICAN work through the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, we were able to create an oral health unit in a school-based health center in the community that I described a few minutes ago. He was able to get the treatment that he needed. He's now in school. He's eating everything in sight. His sister's in school, and his mom is actually up for a promotion. What this shows is that it's going to take some creative ideas to address this issue. We're going to have to work across disciplines. We're going to have to reach out to our neighbors. We're going to have to reach out to all the communities to make a difference. There's a quote that says, "The power of one, if fearless and focused, is formidable. But the power of many working together is better." If we can work together, we can reach across and make a huge difference. We can truly connect the mouth back to the body.